Good morning, Twin Flames, and everybody who is watching this channel, Twin Flame or not. I want to thank you for subscribing, liking, and sharing these videos. I want to thank you for being on my journey. You truly are a gift to me, and I'm so appreciative of your presence. So I just want to start with that. This is going to be a weekly reading for the Divine Feminine. I did the Divine Masculine reading. Unbeknownst to me, I thought it was just from the energies for the week, but it was quickly turned into a Divine Masculine reading. So I'm doing one for the Divine Feminine now. I'm going to start with the Sarah Calling by the Jesus Calling by Sarah Young. Get that right. Understanding will never bring you peace. That's why I have instructed you to trust in me, not in your understanding. Human beings have a voracious appetite for trying to figure things out in order to gain a sense of mastery over their lives. But the world presents you with an endless series of problems. As soon as you master one set, another pops up to challenge you. The relief you had anticipated is short-lived. Soon your mind is gearing up again, searching for understanding, mastery, instead of seeking me, your master. The wisest of all men, Solomon, could never think his way through to peace. His vast understanding resulted in feelings of futility rather than in fulfillment. Finally, he lost his way and succumbed to the will of his wives by worshiping idols. My peace is not an elusive goal, hidden at the center of some complicated maze. Actually, you are always enveloped in peace, which is inherent in my presence. As you look to me, you gain awareness of this precious peace. And so she brings us to Proverbs 3, 5, 6. But I encourage you to read the entire chapter. As I started to read it in the masculine reading, it's really powerful, and it's words that you can actually live by. So it starts with, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. So very powerful. And then we have Romans 5:1. Therefore, having been justified by faith, we have peace with God through our Lord Jesus Christ, through whom also we have access by faith into his grace, in which we stand and rejoice in hope of glory of God. And not only that, but we also glory in tribulations, knowing that tribulation produces perseverance, and perseverance, character, and character, hope. Now hope does not disappoint, because the love of God has been poured out into your hearts by the Holy Spirit, who was given to us. And then in that's up to 5. That was Romans chapter 5. 1 through 5, and then I'm going to read 8. But God demonstrates his own love toward us, in that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Much more than, having now been justified by his blood, we shall be saved from wrath through him. So, you know, God wants for us to be in peace. God wants for us to persevere. God wants for us to get clear of illusions, and anything that is not of love is an illusion. And I'm going to encourage you, and I have encouraged you, and will continue to encourage you, that this is a journey back to God. So this divine twin flame journey is to get to God, and let God direct all your paths, and lean not on your own understanding, because your own understanding is worldly and jaded by past hurts, past experiences, past pains, past belief systems that don't serve. So they were tools that were used as survival techniques that are no longer serving the greater good for this mission. And the mission is love, and the mission is to maintain peace, and the mission is to develop an intimate relationship with God the Father. So please know that. So, I thought my puppy was out there. So, just please stay in faith, please stay in peace. That's what the Divine Masculine's overall energy was, but I'm going to tell you that it's for all of us, always. It's a great reminder to have faith, that there are things that God sees from a 30,000 foot view. He put you here. He knows the desires of your heart. And He wants you to keep your focus on Him, not on the twin flame. I know I say that a lot. And I say it as often as they remind me to say it. So please know that I realize that it sounds like I say this all the time, but that's because they want to remind you all the time. The path, the divine path, and the ascension process is about love. It's about trusting in the universe and trusting in God and trusting in your angels, and not trusting in you based on your conditioning and your thought patterns, because those are of the world, and of the world, they want to keep you distracted. So I'm going to pray over. I just was shuffling and get that out of my way. Okay. I'm going to pray on the deck, and I'm asking for divine guidance. I'm asking all the ascended masters, all the angels, God, Jesus, all the archangels, Michael, Raphael, Ariel, Gabriel, Gabriel, the messenger of God. Michael is our divine protector. I want to share with you the Ariel, because I did it in case you don't watch both videos. But Ariel was brought to my awareness last week. There was a big A in twigs in front of my car, and it was brought to my attention, and I did some research on her, and she is the guardian angel of Mother Nature, of animals, and of even of us. And she is such a powerful, beautiful, divine being that I'm grateful to have on my journey. So, just ask that you give me a clear reading. Use me as a channel and a vessel to relay the messages that you want for the Divine Feminine for this week, August 7th through August 14th. I thank you, we thank you for all the ways in which you come to us, in the ways that we see and in the ways that we don't. And we thank you for your presence in our daily lives. Please remind us that you're there, and remind us to remember to look for you in all of our experiences and affairs. Amen. Thank you. And so it is. Okay. Okay, getting clear. I am listening today to, oops, that went away, sorry. Awakening Spiritual Strength, Inner Balance, and Tranquility. And this has deep delta binaural beats by Good Vibes. I'm not sure if you can hear it because I do have it a little lower than I normally do. Okay, gosh, just... So, Divine Feminine, the Hermit. I think this was in the monthly divine reading that I did over the weekend. They want you to be in a meditative state, to stay connected to the divine. I believe they want you to do this because the energies of the Divine Masculine are extremely powerful. He is in deep regret. He is in deep sadness. He is in quarreling and bickering, and he's in the energies that are all the karmic energies that are being cleared. So they want you to stay in meditation and not to take it on. You're learning how to do that, and yeah. So you will have a victory. It will be a short-lived victory. That's your outcome for today. A short-term victory, but they really want you to stay focused on, you know, those little victories add up to be the big victories where you get to see the divine. And they want for you to stay in deep connection with the divine, with the being in the hermit, based on the fact that the Divine Masculine is not in a good energy, and it's probably affecting you in some way. And make sure that you're doing all of your clearing, all your meditation, all of your protective rituals, because that's not your stuff, and they don't want you to take it on. They don't want you to engage in it. They don't want you to try and fix it. They don't need your help. They said they don't need your help. So in order to assist you, the divine is giving you an inspiration, a new idea to be able to get through this. You know, like maybe an aha moment, maybe about your Divine Masculine, maybe about something else on your path. But this is an opportunistic time for you, and you want to engage in that and stay focused on that. And I definitely feel that, certainly on my journey as a Divine Feminine, that the Divine wants me to be a clear channel. I have surrendered completely. I do not desire to be with my twin anymore. Based on where he's at, all I want to do is pray for him and pray that he gets clear, and pray for his happiness. I think that for me and for him at this point, I have just really been so obedient to the journey that there's really nothing, because he has not. There is such a gap between us at this point, and only the divine, only his free will can go to the divine to minimize that gap, to delete the gap, if you will. But there is a gap there. I know that by, and he's going down fast. And I don't know that there's a way for him to recoup. It has been happening for a couple of years that he just refuses to listen. And that's a direct result of being involved in religious organizations to which he got burnt. So Christianity is not an option for him, but Christianity is what I do and what I'm engaged in and what I believe in. And I need somebody who's like-minded on my journey, and he's just not there. And unless the divine collapses that, which I'm not looking for at this point, I'm looking to be the vessel. So I have abandoned that part of their journey, but I'm here to be a light for those that are struggling, that have been really pushing for a union. My mission here is to push you for a union with the divine, and seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all these things will be added on to you. And so that helped me write all of the areas in my life that were out of sync with what the divine wanted for me to do on path. So now that I am on path, it came from Ace of Swords moments. It came from a series of these. So I have no longing or desire to be in relationship with a man, so to speak, though I am now looking for somebody that can walk with me. I'm looking to the divine to put that person. I'm not looking in the 3D world. So when I'm out and about, I'm not really looking. I'm really contented at being on mission. And when that shows up, I'll know. And I also know that if that's what the divine needs from me, that's what's going to be. So being that I have surrendered my life to that, I don't suffer with these weight of the world on my shoulders moments. That's the end of that. That's the 10 of Wands. So that's kind of like, the end of the cycle of feeling buried under extreme pressures. Although I have been put on multiple journeys right now. So I get to work with the youth, and I get to work with others, and teenagers, and I have a client that's really difficult, struggling with alcoholism. So I'm really kind of in so many arenas at this point. This is basically saying that obstacles have appeared. There's complications, and that's kind of what I witnessed on the twin flame journey. So I abandoned it. I just don't even look there. I look to the divine, and I am here to encourage you to do the same. The cards are telling me that you have faced obstacles. You might have created your own obstacles here, even in the Ten of Wands. And they want you to look to this. Look to the new idea that they're giving you to help pull you from the focus on that. They have you in learning as a Page of Swords. So in the Page of Swords energy, they want for you to be in the state of I don't know, in the state of like a little child, like the newness of everything. And the only way you can get there is by surrendering your thoughts. So that's the unexpected. To manifest to manifest. So it's almost like they gave you the beginning and the end, sort of. So you got to get into the energy. This isn't unexpected, probably. Maybe it was an idea that you had that you thought that you couldn't pursue, or that you needed your divine partner to help you pursue. Maybe so with the Page of Swords, you really want to take some action to learn all about the divine and all about what's going on in the supernatural, spiritual realm. Maybe that's part of the divine journey for you, is to learn. So maybe you want to learn more about love and what love is. The Love Languages is a really good book by Dr. Chapman. And understanding what your love language is, and what potentially you can kind of determine what your divine partner's love language is, your children's love language, your parents' love language. It's certainly a great tool to use to learn more. I also use Marianne Wiliamson was really great in helping me on this journey to clear the illusions. The Course of Miracles was a great tool on my journey to learn that if you don't see a miracle, it's not on the divine's part, that it's on my part. Those kinds of learnings I'm sensing in this reading based on our overall energy card. And then I have to do this. Some of you, the Lovers is right underneath that. So 3-6 months out from starting this part of it, and really getting your meditative practices at their optimum level, so that you can start to hear the intuition and act from your heart rather than from your thoughts or what you think you know. This is you. You're an apprentice. I think we saw this in the overall reading. You're an apprentice, and some of you are, not all of you, but many of you are still learning how to navigate through on this material plane, how to operate your spiritual gifts and your spiritual knowledge with those around you. And the outcome is victory. But these are short-lived victories, so you can't just stop and become complacent after you've done, after you've kind of like navigated through. Let's say you had a really successful encounter in holding up to your boundaries or speaking your truth. You got to keep exercising that gift, so that becomes the fabric of your beingness. so you don't fall back into the old stuff. It's going to feel very uncomfortable. It's kind of like a fake it till you make it moment, but you've got to continuously keep your boundaries. You've got to continuously act from your spirit, from your soul, because what happens when you don't, you wind up again in this position with the weight of the world on your shoulders. You've given way more than you're supposed to. And then you face obstacles all over again. And when we face these obstacles, these are opportunities to be redirected, to learn how to do things differently. So they're being pretty consistent. They're saying that there's this new endeavor, new thought, new belief that you really want to continue to work on and to grow in and to prosper in, and that don't rest on your laurels, so to speak. Keep your focus on the divine. If you keep your focus on the divine, the short-lived victories will become long-term successes. Success, when we look at success, we think about financial success mainly. We don't think about success in maintaining your peace, or success in maintaining a loving attitude, or success in maintaining a trust in the divine. So when somebody lies to you, you immediately take it personally. No, that lie that they're telling is them, not a reflection on you. I use my hands a lot, sorry about that. It's them, it's not a reflection on you. They're lying to themselves, so of course they're going to tell you a lie. And a lot of us take that personally, and the divine is saying that can be a victory when you don't take it personally. You know the truth. We know when somebody is dishonest with us, but we don't have to get them to admit it. We have to just basically to understand that they have to go full circle through the lie, and then they have to learn how to get honest with themselves and with everybody else. They have to learn that lesson. That's not for us to push or impose, but we can turn around and say, listen, thank you for that, but that's not resonating as a truth for me. That's not resonating as a truth for me. And leave it at that. You don't have to tell them all the ways in which you know. You don't have to go into all that. But when you're in your meditative state, by the way, you know exactly what's going on. You know exactly. You just know. So like I knew in my last discussion with my divine partner that he was not ready. I just knew. And then I realized, I don't know that he's going to be able to be ready to surrender ever. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm not going to continue to look to an empty well to feed me, and I'm not going to continue to go into an atmosphere that is not going to raise me further on my vibration. And so he hasn't had that, and even when I got back with him the last time, he didn't have that, and he just sunk. And then even in the way he compares himself to me, or tries to distract me from what I know is true. I know that I had to set those boundaries, and I'm here to be a light to you, because that's how the divine has me doing these, and that's why he has me open this channel. That's why he has me reading for people to get more clear. I'm not going to sacrifice my soul for a momentary win. I want a full-blown truth, and that includes even the people that I'm surrounded with in friendship, family members. I do not engage in things that are not going to be healthy for everybody involved. And that's my encouragement to you. So what other messages do you have for us on this? I'm asking for clarifiers for the Divine Feminine for this reading for the week of August 7th through August 14th. Okay. So, Ace of Cups. So that'll bring you to a new, that relationship with the divine will bring you to a new emotional fulfillment. oneness with God. There's a meditation that I absolutely adore. Oneness with the mind of God. Oneness with the mind of God. And I used to listen to that every single morning when I was getting ready to go out into the world. It would take me a half hour to blow out these beautiful curly locks I have. Sometimes 40 minutes. And so I'd put that meditation on while I was blow drying my hair. And Universal Mind Meditation it's called. I'm sorry. It used to be called the other one. And it's a really powerful I am meditation. Oneness with the mind of God. That's the third eye coming down upon you. That's emotional fulfillment, emotional stability, emotional happiness. Once you have that entirely enveloped in your beingness, then your cup is full and runneth over. And it could be an inspiration for your divine partner. And I know that I am an inspiration to my divine partner. I just have made decisions that, there were things. You have also the Five of Wands and the Divine Masculine had this. Don't have to defend yourself around other people. That's petty squabbles and stuff. So if you've shared this, I'm going to tell you this in this reading, and I said it in the last reading. So they gave this to me to remind you. If you're having conversations with people that do not or are not on this journey, and they're saying things like he's a narcissist and he lied and he did this and he did that, stop. Be around people that understand that people are struggling and suffering and in pain. And the divine partners have been in pain. And our job is to clear and ascend from the pain and be lights and beacons of light. And to get people to understand that they are to move forward and that the pain is to fall away. And you have to go through the journey. And if you're talking to your friends or your girlfriends or your family members and they saw the stuff that this man or woman did on the journey, you're best suited to stay away from having conversations with them, to keep you away from them. You're better off talking to those that are on this journey, that are in communication with the divine, so that they can direct you to what your part in this is and how you can see it differently. Yeah, because those are illusions. So the squabbling, God is love, and anything that is not of love is not of God. So engaging in squabbling with these people is not going to serve your greater good. And you want to learn how to engage with these people without being angry with them, and keeping close to your best the stuff that's happening, because this is for your ascension path. And there are a lot of people out there in the 3D world that are in my immediate world I don't share this with, because they don't get it. My best friend from high school, who's been with me through this whole thing, doesn't get it. I don't talk with her about it because she says, you know what, he's sick, he's not well, blah blah blah. Agreed that he is stuck in karmic patterns, but I don't want to have conversations where it's going to berate him in any way. He is not well, period. And he deserves our love. And then we have the King of Pentacles. When you master this, then you will be the master of your domain. On this 3D realm is what they're saying. That you'll be able to see everything clearly, and that you will not convict him or her. And then you have the Emperor. So this is confirmation that this is the Divine Feminine reading. He had the Emperor in his reading. That you're mastering all of these entities, if you will, that you are really seeing much more clearly. And then when you start to do that, especially with this here, so if this is happening, your job is to just kind of be peaceful. You don't have to argue, you don't have to say but you're wrong, you don't have to do any of those things. What you have to do is within you say, you know what, I am love, he is love, he is in he is being healed by the divine. You don't even have to say he's not well. He's being healed by the divine. I'm being healed by the divine. I send healing, light, and love energies. And as you do that, you're going to start to see more things in your material realm manifest. Because you're manifestors. You're manifestors. And when you're getting yourself clear, watch for the manifestations of the work you've done on the 3D realm. kind of like what I'm sharing with you. I've been doing these readings. I was asked to start this channel. The channel is building slowly and steadily, and then I'm on the Facebook page, and that kind of jumped exponentially, and the work that I get to do in my immediate area has jumped. So I've added a couple more clients on, and in the last week, just doing more work, more readings and live readings in person as well as online, and really just being the channel, being the messenger, being on mission, being on path. That's how they want you to do it. This is how I did it. This is how the Divine wants us all to do it. And that will bring us the everlasting love that we're seeking in this reality. So we can manifest a partner that is on this journey. And if it's not the one, it will teach us the lessons we need to get clear and free from the conditioning of the past. That's where the Page of Swords is. Learning how to overcome those relationships that we think that, you know, we know something about, that we think, oh, you know, if I fix this, or if I change me in this way, or if I... the purpose of seeing things differently is not necessarily attached to the outcome that you want. And the Divine wants you to be aware of that too. So you may want an outcome. Well, if I'm nice, then the relationship will come. No, you want to make sure that you are nice because that's who you are, not because they are or aren't. Because that's how we wind up again cynical. And just be grateful that you got to be a blessing to those people that were on your path. The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. I think I have that in the description box. If not, I will put it in the description box. Is a really good tool. The Bible is a really good tool. Lean not on your own understanding. Let God be the judge and the jury on it. If you're judging something, then God, there's no room for God to really help you get clear of the illusions of the moon. This is the subconscious mind. So it came up in the Divine Masculine reading. It's coming up on the Divine Feminine reading. Your job, overall energy, is to meditate through. There's layers. It doesn't happen overnight. You may have cleared certain... I feel like almost like if you look at a video game, and you know you have to clear certain levels. That's kind of what we're doing. We're clearing levels of awareness. We're clearing levels of the 3D reality to get to the 5D reality. Same thing on this journey. So we can call this a game, or we can call this a journey, or we can call this our path, whatever you want, but we have to clear levels to ascend, to get unshackled, to get clear, to rise above what we see with our 3D eyes and look with our supernatural eyes. So I'm going to pull from the John Holland Psychic Tarot for the heart. I don't think I mentioned it, but I might have. I don't remember. I'm doing a live on Facebook tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on the God Conscious Twin Flame 1111 Facebook page. I encourage you to be there because I'm going to devote the end of it. I'm going to pick 5 people to do a mini reading for, and the first 5 that I'm drawn to, that the angels tell me to go to, and yeah. And then I'm going to do a question and answer period at the end of that. So it's going to be about an hour-long video, live streaming rather. And so I just wanted to invite you to that. It's going to be tomorrow at Facebook, God Conscious Twin Flame 1111, or you can type in at God Conscious 1111 if you've not already liked the channel. And there is an event on there for tomorrow night. Okay, so we're just asking for some more clarifiers on this. So yeah, learning how to fight fairly is what they just said. Learning how to fight fairly, Page of Swords. Learning how to fight fairly. Learning how to fight not to win and not to be right, but to be clear. And sometimes we're fighting battles we're not even supposed to, they're not even ours. So when you go into meditation, you start to learn that's not worth my time. That's something else. Yeah, so joy and stability will come from meditating. Joy and stability will come from being with the divine. Joy and stability is what you're seeking on this journey. Find balance. Clarity of belief, by the way, they got that too. And a dedicated effort. A dedicated effort, dear one. Dedicated effort to your relationship with the divine. That's an 8. Infinity symbol on here. So that's how we get to that joy and stability. They want you to have a clarity of belief that that you are divinely protected by your guides, your angels, by God. Like Mary Magdalene. Finding balance between the spiritual realm, the friends, the family, the twin flame. If you're watching a lot of videos, slow them down. Stop watching just so many videos, because that'll throw you out of balance. Quickened in a hurry. But dedicated effort has to be, what is my soul truth? Who am I? What needs to be cleared? What no longer serves me and the greater good of those around me? How can I be a better servant? You also got 2 3s. Yeah, so they want you to take a look at what the 3s mean. I'm sorry. Yeah. You got 2 3s. The 3 in the Empress card. And there's a couple of 1s in here. So, if that resonates with you, the number 3 or the number 1, that's certainly one of my numbers. 222, 333. Look into those for inspiration and motivation to keep you moving forward. And then I'll just close out like I do. This is the weekly reading, so I'm going to just close. Just concentrate on whether or not you should pick the first card, the second card, or the third card. When I lay it out, it may be more clear. Let your guides and angels, I'll invite them into everything. I have to encourage that. That's the purpose of meditating, knowing when it's your guides and angels and knowing when it's your ego self. Big difference, huge difference. Things flow easily. On the video for the masculines, I shared a little bit about my trust in the divine and how he really showed up during different lessons and layers of my lessons in the journey of life, as it related to, in specific, my daughter's illness. Excuse me. So, I'm just going to close this out with this angel's answers. So, if you have a question, please get it ready. And then I'm going to lay these out. Probably didn't say it that way on the last video. They just told me you didn't say it that way. But ask a question. I'm going to lay out 3 cards. And then see which one you got it to. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Yep, that's correct. Okay, so. Just gotta. There you go. So on this deck, it's number 1. On this deck, it's number 2. And then this deck, number 3. So if you can decide which one, maybe it's one of your angel numbers. Okay. So for those that wanted, a year from now is the answer to your question. A year from now. Forgiveness. Those that pick number 2, you need to forgive. You need to work on forgiveness. That's your lesson. That's specific. Forgiveness. Get on the forgiveness journey. Look into everything you can learn about forgiveness. All of the definitions of it that you can find all of the books maybe that you can find, maybe videos on forgiveness. Explore forgiveness. T.D. Jakes, Joyce Meyer, Marianne Wiliamson has a few ideas. Deepak Chopra, I think, has on forgiveness. Dr. Wayne Dyer has on forgiveness. Those are all the spiritual gurus I've used. And then whoever asked number 3, you will have success, or you are either you're experiencing success now or you will have success. So I want to thank you all for being present. I just want to remind you I'll be live tomorrow night on Facebook, on the God Conscious Twin Flame 1111, or you can type in at God Conscious 1111. And if you want to book a private reading, the link's below to schedule that. I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to read for you. Sending you blessings of love.